Don Quixote by Miguel Cervantes, narrated by Jonathan Waite. Chapter 1. How Don Quixote was knighted. Some 300 or 400 years ago, there lived in sunny Spain an old gentleman named Quixote, who owned a house and a small property near a village in La Mancha. With him lived his niece, a housekeeper, and a man who looked after Quixote's farm and his one old white horse, which, though its master imagined it to be an animal of great strength and beauty, was really as lean as Quixote himself, and as broken down as any old cab horse. Quixote had nothing in the world to do in the shape of work, and so his whole time was taken up in reading old books about knights and giants, and ladies shut up in enchanted castles by wicked ogres. In time, so fond did he become of such tales, that he passed his days, and even the best part of his nights, in reading them. His mind was so wholly taken up in this way that at last he came to believe that he himself lived in a land of giants and of ogres, and that it was his duty to ride forth on his noble steed to the rescue of unhappy princesses. In the lumber room of Quixote's house there had lain, ever since he was born, a rusty old suit of armour, which had belonged to his great-grandfather. This was now got out, and Quixote spent many days in polishing and putting it in order. Unfortunately, there was no more than half of the helmet to be found, and a knight cannot ride forth without a helmet. So Quixote made the other half of strong pasteboard, and to prove that it was strong enough, when finished, he drew his sword and gave the helmet a great slash. Alas! A whole week's work was ruined by that one stroke. The pasteboard flew into pieces. This troubled Quixote sadly, but he set to work at once and made another helmet of pasteboard, lining it with thin sheets of iron, and it looked so well that, this time, he put it to no test with his sword. Now that his armour was complete, it occurred to him that he must give his horse a name. Every knight's horse should have a good name, and after 4 days' thought he decided that Rocinante would best suit the animal. Then for himself, after 8 days of puzzling, he resolved that he should be called Don Quixote de la Mancha. There was but one thing more. Every knight of olden time had a lady, whom he called the mistress of his heart, whose glove he wore in his helmet. And if anybody dared to deny that this lady was the most beautiful woman in the whole world, then the knight made him...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?